Sew Sunday, where I inspire you to sew on a Sunday. But today's a special Sew Sunday. Why? Because it's Mother's Day, and I, as well as 900% of you, are mothers. Even if you're a man, you've been mothering somebody your whole life. So today I am going to be continuing the Fat Quarter Frenzy Quilt. We ended off making the blocks, but we did not trim them down yet, and we did not lay it out, and we did not put it together. Those are the things we're going to do today, minus the laying out part. I'm going to attempt to lay the blocks on the ironing board maybe and go, oh, hey, I like that. We'll put the next row. Okay, I think I like that. And it's going to go so fast because they're such big blocks and they have long seams, but it'll go pretty quick. So anyway, let's see who is here today. We've got Deborah, Kathleen, Kim, Susan, Judy, Chloe, Ken and Leslie, Cindy, Catitude, Maxie Doodle, Melena, Miss Topaz, Delia, same names. You guys were talking in the chat before I came on. We got Linda, Tanya, Nadine, Donna, Karen, Susan, Sandra, Angela, Judy, and it jumped. Holy moly. Shirley, Heather, Jonah. Let's see. Debbie, Geraldine, Catherine, Vicky, Donna, TNC, Miss Becca, Judith, Alvita, Donna, Deborah, Beverly, all of you. Hello, hello. And if I skipped your name, I'm super sorry, but as soon as you guys start typing like crazy when this thing goes live, it just keeps going to the bottom and I lose my spot. So sorry, but happy Mother's Day to all of you. What'd you say? Oh, hey, Mr. Tucker. So if you guys missed it yesterday, I raced Tucker. I won the piecing part, but of course his Gamble won the quilting part, but just by a hair. And we quilted the same thing, but it was fun. It was my idea, and I had so much fun. Well, it was actually his idea to race. It was my idea for him to use the computer and me to be manual because you know me, guys, I really like to see how fast I really am. Am I as fast as a Gamble's computerized system? Well, almost. So now I have bragging rights. I'm almost as fast as computerized stitching. So I had that. And then this morning, Becca and I were live binding. We were on live on both of our channels. So we did that. And then I obviously got off before her just because I needed to take my Sunday nap. Why? It's Mother's Day. I needed a nap. I like to, take right now I'm on medicine for my back. So I needed to take my medicine, lie down and ignore the strange spasms along my spine that really hurt. But, because Friday I went to the doctor's and I got shots in my behind. You guys all have probably had a shot at the top of your hip. They're annoying, they hurt, and I don't really think it did anything. But, they gave me medicine in hopes to bring my back down from spasming. So anyway, so we're going to do the cutting of these blocks. Now, this I left open-ended pretty much for you guys, purposely because not all of our fat quarters were exactly the same. No two fat quarters made alike. I'm telling you right now, all the companies, all the different fabric brands, they folded in half. A half yard of fabric folded in half doesn't always measure 44. It doesn't always measure 43 from selvage to selvage. Sometimes you only get 20 inches, so an 18 by 20 inch piece. There's sometimes some brands of fabric you get an 18 by 22. And there have been a few fat quarters I've gotten that were 18 by 23. I was like, wow. So not all fat quarters were created equal. So when we started cutting into these and we started sewing them and moving things around and flopping them, all that stuff, when it comes to the cutting, it's going to have to be as close as you can get it. So my number might be different than your number, but my goal is to trim them all to 16 by 18. that gives me plenty of space, hopefully on all 20 of these blocks, that they should all catch. And I'm going to hold the block up so you can see. See how they taper right here at different sizes, and you can see right here how it caught that in. A 16 by 18 cut will obviously get rid of our selvage, which we left on because I figured we're going to be trimming it all anyway. And then it will straighten this out. And we have a mostly square side on these corners, but we're going to start with trimming the selvage off first. But like I said, it should be a pretty good estimate because we only took 2 seams going this way, and then we did take the diagonal seams. So that actually shrunk the block this way, not horizontally or vertically. It actually did it diagonally. It shrunk the block. So it should have kept everything as square as possible if you followed those directions. So the next step is for me to stand here and cut all 20 of these right here before your very eyes. Is it not working? Let me make sure one more time. All right, let me turn it off and then back on again. It's probably, I don't know. Sometimes it does that. Give it a second and then it should work for you guys. I have to add more things to it, but it should have plenty of commands for now. So it should be working. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to use my large ruler because my Missouri Star, trusty Missouri Star ruler, this is the one I usually always use. This is only 15 inches, so I'm not going to get a really good cut from this one. So we're going to just use my Quilters Select 8.5 by 24 inch ruler. If you don't have one of these and you have Fiskars 6 by 24 or any long ruler will work for this. And even if you have a big 12-inch square and you just line that up in the corner to get your first cut and then like butt up another ruler to it. I think Karen Brown of Just Get It Done Quilts, she shows you that butting up method. A lot of actual YouTubers do, but that's just one that comes to mind right away. So we're going to go ahead and start cutting all these down. I'm going to start by edge off first. And what's the straightest part, not my crinkled edge sides, I'm going to line my selvage up here, cutting with my right hand, and then line this bottom up on a line that I have hair in my mouth. And that was very annoying. That mostly is straight. Okay. And then we're just going to keep doing all of them until all 20 are cut. So here I go. I'm just going to stand here right before your very eyes and get some cutting done. So again, I'm just going to lay my nice big huge block as best as I can on a line. And I'm going to line my selvage up. You know, just going to line these 2 lines up, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That was the point of this nice big huge block pattern, because nothing is going to be perfect at all until your block is squared up. Then you'll have nice square blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the whole thing now that I have a single straight side. I'm going to line it up on a line right there. And I'm going to go ahead and reach up here and straighten out the top as close as I can get it. I should just turn it the other way on a different line, but that's okay. I just make it harder on myself just so I could show you guys. So that's nice and straight. And now I have 2 straight corners. I'll line up on this side and down here. This is how it's going to work. I'm using my cutting mat mainly as its guide. So I'm going to come from 10 to 26, that's 16. And I'm going to make my, that's 16, right? Yep. I think it is. From the number 10 to the number 26, that's 16. Yep. Okay, and I'm going to cut this off. I know it seems like I'm wasting a lot, but I'm actually going to make something out of all this. All this, I'm going to crumb piece together into something. So I'm going to actually save all those. The other pieces, I'm not. And then, so I've came over 16, and that's the width of the fat quarter. So the part that was 18 inches originally, that's the side I cut down to 16. Now, from down here, I'm at the 1, I'm going to go to 18, so I would be going to what, 19, right? Yeah, 1 to 19 is 18 inches. Yeah, I'm going to go right here. Everything's still straight. I'm using my ruler on the sides and my cutting mat to line everything up. And this one is skinny, so I'm not going to save that. So now I have a 16 by 18 inch block. So now let's repeat that 19 more times. So I'm just going to move it out of the way, move on to the next. I'm just going to keep repeating the process, lining the selvage up first, pretending this is straight, cutting that off, and just repeating over and over until they're all together. That's on that pile. And then I could just turn myself this way. There. Stay straight. Stay straight. I have the ability to be able to walk around my table somewhat. I'm going to line this up. And I'm going to just step to the side and cut this and make my job a little easier on myself. And then we're going to go from one. Oh, yeah, this one doesn't go all the way to. Let's see, this is the 16 way, so I need to go to 17. Right here, from 1 to 17. Come on, stay straight. And then I'll just have one more side to cut off. I'm going to save that. My last side to cut off is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. Right there at the 11. Look at that. 16 by 18. So they'll probably all get the same. They'll all probably land exactly where I need them to. And you can do this with your, if you have a smaller mat as well, the 18 by 24 mat, cutting mat, you should still be able to cut all of your blocks.
The iron that you're going?
No, they're already ironed.
What was I supposed to iron?
Oh, when I put the blocks together.
Oh, okay.
Just going to line this up again. Just going to pre-line everything up. Ooh, this one might not make it. This one might not be the length I need. We're just going to do it anyway. I had a pretty big selvage. We're going to turn it. Go to 16. Oh, that's the 18. 28 right here. So 18 was the length originally, so the selvage to selvage part, and 16 was the width, which is your half a yard side. Now I have that straight. That is not straight. I go to 26 here. I shall get all these done. I probably should cut them in bulk, but they don't all line at the same spot. And like, see how these are? You just do this, and it pulls that seam out, so you get your little leftover chunk if you want to crumb piece everything together or not. It's up to you. Obviously, a lot of people like me don't like a lot of waste, but this does have a little bit of waste. But I will use my waste. No doubt about it. Because that's the kind of quilter I am.
How do you decide which side is best to use as the first straight side? Or is it best to go with the selvage?
I just go with the selvage. That's what I'm doing, is going with the selvage. So this is my selvage along right here. I'm just lining everything up. This. And it goes all the way around. I start with getting the selvage off first. That way I have that first initial straight cut. And then going to 18 that way. That first wheel cut this way. So line the ruler up on that. And on that, turn my body. Make that cut. Now I have two straight edges. Look, I don't have to even move anything. go this way. It's on 1, so we want to go, oh, this one doesn't go all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16. Okay, good, it does. Right there. This ruler has a non-slip grip on it, so if I move it at all, it'll adjust the whole block. So I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. And last side, I'm going to just turn it all this way, so I'm right hand cutting. Line it up. Line it up, line up the bottom, line up the side, and go to the 18-inch mark, which on here I have it at the 10 and 28. That way it's 18 inches. So even this can go in my strings bin, or I can just add it to this pile, and another block is done. I'm going to see what it's like to stack up more than one. Oh no, I can't with this one. This one has a really far down side. There. Does it land where I need it to land? Oh, it does. Okay, I'm going to do this one a little bit different than the rest because I literally had a really low one. As long as it keeps going to the same number every time. This is my selvage side. And this is the other side. So I still have a pretty darn big block. 16 by 18, which is perfect. That one's not very low, so let's two stack it and see how well that works. Both the selvages together, line them up. That one's kind of lower. Maybe I should put that one on the top. See, like I said, they're all different heights, widths to start, so it makes it just a little bit different. There. And there. Stay lined up. Don't move.
Don't move. Don't move.
Freeze, fabric. Okay. All right, we're going to go over here to the 10. I guess I'm going to cut this way because
Hold the scissors to it so it doesn't move.
that's an inch. I could save that. I'm going to cut this top right
Keep
here.
them at scissors point instead of gun point.
That works.
Trying to get you to laugh.
Yep.
It's supposed to be funny.
You going to tase them for me?
Yeah, but instead of a gun or a taser, it was a scissors. It's a
Yep.
fabric.
Yep. Hey. Don't move, fabric. I'm telling you.
Does the Martelli cutter take a special blade, or will any blade work?
You can use any blade on it, but they recommend using the Martelli blade. But anyone, any company's thing like Olfa recommends you use Olfa, you know, like Fiskars recommends you use Fiskars. It's just how the companies work, but they're universal. All of them are universal. They all speak the same language. We cut fabric. So, you know, I don't think it matters. There are a couple cheap knockoff blades, though, that have a different hole for the screws, so that you do have to watch out for. Slide it down, match that up. Right there. All the selvages are crossing a line. All that top part is bottoms. All right. Cut at 10. You see that? My fabric tried to wave at you guys. And then we're going to cut 14 here, and a 2, which is 16 inches. Put that over there.
Tell them about your sewing machine.
My sewing machine is a Juki TL2010Q. It is an amazing machine. I absolutely love it. I've loved it since the day I got it, except I never liked it for free motion quilting, but I now have a actual long arm, so I don't honestly need to free motion quilt ever again. But I do with little tiny projects. I do a little bit of dabbling in the free motion quilting world here and there. All right, this one.
Tell them where they can get it.
And you can find it at Sewing Machines Plus. I am an affiliate there. So it's in the description below every single one of my videos is a link to it. Or you can type in something in the an information. Oh my goodness, I forgot what I signed that one up as. The explanation SMP, I think is what it is. I don't remember. They all have a code.
Do you use a magnetic seam guide on your brother?
On the Brother, yes, I use it on all of my machines. Oops, that's an inch. It can go in that pile. I'm like sorting scraps at the same time as I'm cutting all this. That's funny. I've never had a problem because the computerized part of the Brother is up here, not down there. So don't worry about that, folks. Some sites and some people will say not to, but I have never once had a problem. The only problem I ever have with these kind of cheapy Brother machines is the wheel, the hand wheel, freezes. 2 to 18. There. Remember, I'm cutting 16 by 18, but I'm doing math in my head as I do this so that I can make sure that no matter what number on the mat I'm lining it up with, I still have a 16 by 18 inch block. And I'm bound to probably cut one wrong out of all 20, which will suck if I do, so I need to pay attention. Up.
I'm worried about using the magnetic seam guide on a computerized machine.
It depends on what kind of computerized machine it is, honestly. It really does. If you have an embroidery machine, like a sewing embroidery machine, like the combo machines, I probably would not use a magnetic seam guide. Honestly, I would just go ahead and spend the money for the foot. They have a special foot for, oh, I'll just pull all those later. They have a special foot for that stuff, for making sure you have a perfect 1/4 inch. So you might as well just invest in that. But, you know, if you did spend $10,000 on your machine, I would probably just, forego using a magnet then. You never know, but I personally have never had an issue with anything because it's the mechanics that are down in the bottom side, not computer. So just take that into account. It's the mechanical stuff that runs in the bottom. Some nice, beautiful blocks here. Getting close. Close. Want to make sure that I get everything nicely cut. That way, that way. Make sure I get all the selvages off at the same time. Oops, that needs to come down a little. Go. For all of you ladies just joining, welcome. We're working on the Fat Quarter Frenzy from last week. And also, happy Mother's Day to all of you. And even if you do not have children or did not have children, I'm still saying Happy Mother's Day because I bet you had fur babies. And you had to nurture them and take care of them. Ooh, that one's a shorty. We're going to bring this guy to the top so I can see
They
it.
need spoiling too, right?
Yeah.
Ours gets spoiled all the time. I don't even know where he's at the moment.
Thumper is sleeping because that's what Thumper does.
Yeah, he only does
is.
that for like 22 hours a day.
Yeah. He's out there somewhere being a lazy kitty.
Oh, Gwen says your curls look very nice in your hair.
Yeah,
Look at that.
I know you guys can't smell me, but I took a shower before the live stream. Like, I think I should look nice. And this is what happens after I shower. If I just let my hair dry, this is what happens. Like, I can't control the frizz, but the curls are more enhanced. And then throughout the day, like as long as if I touch my hair or like flick it out of the way or anything, then it's the curls start fading. But at first, right after a shower, I always have foofy hair like this, and the curls are very showy. I never thought in all my 40 plus years that I would have a curl in my hair because I have always had the most flattest, straightest, dullest, won't even take a curl from a curling iron or a perm. I even at a point in time, and all of a sudden now, in my 40s, all of a sudden I have curly hair, and I don't even know how. It's because I chopped it all off in 2020.
I have pictures of the perm. Do you guys want to see it? She don't want me to show it. She hates it when I show it.
I had a funky perm.
Yeah, it is funny.
I definitely do not look good with a perm, but if you guys want to see it, Scott can show it just this once.
I don't know if I can find it. It might take a while.
Yeah, I did not, my hair did not take very well to that.
I have no clue.
It's there somewhere, Mr. Scotty. You know it is, because you like to look back at photos of my weirdness.
It's funny. You were making goofy faces with it and everything.
Yeah. No, Tiffany and a perm does not mix. It was scary every morning to wake up with permed hair. Not this pretty kind of bouncy curl that I got going now. It was like definitely a mean, messy, funky, fluffy afro curl. I've had many hairstyles over the years, and perm just does not mix with me. But this whole natural thing going, huh? It looks okay, I think. So I let it do its thing, and then by tomorrow, my hair will be slightly curly. All right, just a couple more to go. Literally, a couple is two. All right, line it up. Ooh, that one's wonky. It's a wonky one. All right, he found the picture, I'm assuming. That one's so wonky, I'm going to have to cut it afterwards. There. Right there. You guys see that? That woman and her crazy hair. I'm telling you, it's not a good look for me. Totally not a good look for me. But no, I am not embarrassed for him to show it.
Yeah, Tiffany's goofy hair.
Yep, I have had goofy hair, and that's not the first perm I ever had. It's weird because perms take my hair and they like shrivel it up into like it could be long center of my back, and as soon as I get the perm, it's like my hair is shoulder length. It's funny. I'm pretty sure that's the same way with everyone, but it was a tight perm. It was supposed to be spiral perm, but you know.
How many times have you made this pattern?
This is the first time actually making a Fat Quarter Frenzy because it was in my head for a long time, couple months, and then I, had to put it together. So I did it with you guys live.
One person said, "Oh, I like it."
Yeah, I didn't. Scott thought it was funny though.
We all laughed. You laughed
Yeah,
too.
I laughed at myself. Let me tell you.
You laughed.
This guy really got wonky. Hopefully there's enough to trim. A little bit right there. Everything's square.
What size are the trim blocks?
16 by 18. Keep going. 16 by 18. So the part that was your width of fabric is the 18. So that would be the length of a fat quarter. And then the width, which was your width of your, what's the word for it again? Your half yard, which makes half of a fat quarter, is the 16 inches. You'll know your block is not, it's not totally messed up once you cut it and sew it back together. So you definitely can tell which side is what. So no need to worry about that. You can tell. And it looks like all 20 blocks came out perfectly. So they all came out to the cut that I wanted them. So I had plenty of room. Some of them seemed kind of short, but it all worked. So now all 20 blocks are 16 by 18 inches. All right. So for now, this is right here that you can see on the screen. This is what I've cut off. And this, I can sew all these together, as well as I'll pull all the rest of this stuff off or cut it off right there, just like that, and hook all these together too to create a little scrappy project. And then the rest of it will go in the garbage because that's it. So, I mean, it's not that much waste. You're still getting a pretty large block. So for now, I'm just going to throw all that on the floor, even though my son just vacuumed.
I could have taken it and put it somewhere.
No, it's fine. All right, so they're all trimmed. The next step is to assemble. Lay it out and assemble. So you can lay it out. This is what we're going to do. The blocks are going to be the 16 side, so that hold on. I'm going to hold it right here. This is 18 this way. This is 16 this way. 16, this is needs to go up and down. So they're going to lay out next to each other, but every other block is going to go a different direction. I don't know how I'm going to do this right here. So see, they're just going to go like this. I'm just going to do it in twos. So this one is like this. This one I had originally cut was like this because I was stacking them all the same. I'm going to turn it like this, and then I'm going to add the next one, and I'm going to turn it like that, but I don't want the two same colors next to each other, so I'll eliminate that and use this one. And that's the same as that one too. Look at that. Obviously, I used a bunch of different ones, but that should be good. So I want my most corner right here, where it's mostly one, lining up with that. So we're going to go 1. I'm going to just keep checking the ends as I lay these here. 2. We'll go 3. I'm going to turn it because I want my widest side. That one goes good there. So that's 4. I'm going to go 4 across by 5 down. So this one I'm going to turn like this. 1. Let's put the sky. So I need to match it. That doesn't have the same there. Same there. That would be 2.
like a rail fence.
3. Kinda, but they're all straight. Unless you cut them square, they're all straight.
Okay, one minute here.
Camera's moving, guys.
They want to see that.
And
There you go.
4. Those are gonna line up.
That's
I
the awarded
don't.
one. Can they hear me?
Yeah, they probably can hear you. I'm not 100% sure about that one, mister. All right.
Okay, we're going back down
Yeah, it's kind of hard because you're hooked to a non-movable
there.
tripod. All right, so that's row 2.
I don't know if this is exactly where it was at, but
Row 3. I'm just making sure that these colors are not matching these colors when I pick up one. So those match. I don't want matching next to each other. So there's 1. Let's grab this dark one with the owls. Go 2. So these 2 don't match. This is where laying it out is good, but unfortunately, that means I would have to take you guys to the living room to lay it out. So this is the second one. None of those match, and the end doesn't match. 2. There's the third one. Let's put this one. 3. Yep, that works. And this is going to be 4 across by 5 down. Let's grab this guy.
roughly what size would this quilt be?
Oh man, I did it last week after the video. What's 16 or 18 times 4?
They can figure that out. It's under 80.
Okay. So there's the next pile.
74, I think.
Okay. And then 16 times 5. And obviously that's without the 1/4 inch seams, but unfortunately, I'm not going to do that.
80.
Make him do that math. So it's going to be 70. What did you say first?
72 by 80.
72 by 80 ish. Two. Oh, that's the same as that. We don't want that one there. Let's put this guy. That one's totally different. Yep, and yep. So that'll be the next one for that row. And it's getting as mixed up as I possibly can, but don't be too particular because we're making a very large quilt in a very short period of time. So it shouldn't be too worrisome how they land.
You want to take that down and lay it on the big floor?
Not really.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I can bring the phone and just hold it.
Do you really want to do that?
That's up to you. I don't care.
Because I'm like starting to think that I'm lining the wrong ones up.
That's what I'm saying. Do you want to just take it all out there?
Yeah, let's go out
Bring
there.
your phone out there.
All right, we're gonna go to the living room, guys, and just lay this on the floor. I think it'll make it easier for me
Bring it out.
because I feel like I'm messing it all up.
Let's unplug this.
And it slides right out.
It will stand. When my hands aren't shaking it around the whole time.
Okay. Let's just go to the living room. Very slowly, like. Just.
Read comments best on here.
All right, guys, let's go to the living room floor. Keep your phone down, CJ, because we're still live. All right.
Where are you going to land?
Right here. Right here. Yep. Yep. Face it down towards the floor. 1. 2. Like that. There we go. 3. 4.
We have the cheapest cell phone holder I could find on eBay holding our phone.
Yeah. Oh, that's the same as that. Let's put that guy there.
Against what we have holding our phone.
Yeah, it's a tripod. 2, 3, and 4. The other one, just use that because it's there. It's got here. Oops, that's the same as that. Let's turn it around. That there. That's the same as that. Don't want that. Turn it around.
You guys want to move the camera to the other side of her?
Oh.
I guess you're in the way of it.
Nope, it's fine. I'm going this way. I just realized I don't have enough floor space. I need to go up. I didn't want to have to come out here and lay it out, but it's how it's working out, guys. Well, I guess I
move the camera, honey.
No, it's fine. Okay. I can get my squats in for the day. Ugh. And I can move things around, obviously, out here now because I'm not randomly throwing them together. I do want all my owls facing the same direction, though, so that is something I am watching for. Oh, that's the same as that. Let's go that first, then that. No, that's the same as that. That's the same as that. We'll make that the next row. Turn it around. There we go. No, it's still. There we go. That's better. Perfect. And one more row. Owls I want to face up and down. That way. This way. And I'm blocking the camera for a second. There. There. And there. Let's move all this around now. Like I don't have no owls up here. So let's put owls up here. We'll bring this one down there. Those two are too close together. Slide this guy in and put that there. All right. I'm going to stare at it for a minute. Same as you guys. Ooh, it's so cool. All right, let's see. Does anybody else see anything that needs to be scattered? I think those two colors right here can be swapped because that's really dark. That's a lot of darkness right there too. And this one here. That one's here. This one could come down here or here. And this one can go here.
We can twirl them around top to bottom and everything, huh?
Yeah, you can twirl them, move them, so you can flip it this way. Like that. two are way too close. Let's put this guy down there. This guy right there. There we go. I think these are kind of close, so this darkest thing needs to go over on that side somewhere.
Say in the second row, closest to me, that you need more contrast.
This row.
I don't know exactly what that means.
Right there. Right here. And right there.
What if you turn every other row sideways?
Well,
Does that work?
you can go sideways too.
Instead of up and down, if you turn them sideways?
Well, it would be up and down, like it would make it skinnier. Does that make any sense? I like it like this. I think it's pretty balanced. Let me look through the camera. It always helps to look through the camera. I think this guy. Here.
The very top row on the right.
No, that matches that. That does not. Oh. Nope. What I'm going to do is slide that guy there so that there's more pink up there. Then put him. Then put him. Ooh, it's looking good. That one up there in the top right,
Yeah.
it just has a lot of white to it, you know? So I could swap it. There's no other one that has a lot of white to it because where's the opposite of that?
I don't know.
Where'd the opposite of it go? I don't see it. Why don't I see it? It should be the, oh no, we mixed them up. That's why there's no opposite of it. Well, no, there should be an opposite of it. White and purple, white and purple. Where'd it go? I don't know. But I can move him inward like this and move this one outward like that. There we go. That looks pretty balanced. What do you think? Through the camera.
That's weird. I don't see the opposite of that one either.
I can't find the
It would be all
opposite of it.
dark with the light in the middle, and I can't find that.
I think that's balanced. I'm looking through the screen right now. All right, I'm gonna pick them up now. So.
You turn every other row sideways just so they can see what it looks like.
You mean this way? It would make it a very short quilt. I really don't want to turn them all. Oh, you can't because they're not the same size. They're 16 by 18. Yeah, they're not the same size in width and length. They're 16 by 18-inch piece. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's row 1. 2, 3, row 2. That's fine, guys. I'm going to keep it just the way. I didn't want to really make it too much of a hassle moving them around. I did use all purples, so that's why it doesn't look very blendy. I used all purple everything. So if you would have used 20 different color fat quarters, I'm 100% sure this would look way better.
So what is the size of these blocks again?
16 inches by 18 inches. That's
Yeah,
the
you
size.
can't turn them sideways.
Yeah.
Because then it'd be off.
Yeah, you can't turn them sideways because they would be off. All right, so row 1 through 5.
Okay, we go back to quilting room now?
Yep.
Okay.
You can just take it in there while I pick these up.
Oh, I'm waiting on you.
4, 5.
See our floor. How pretty that floor is.
And all 5 rows right here. And we're going to put it together. Should go quick. I mean, they are kind of long seams, but just turn it towards me. All right, here's row 1. First piece and second piece, and I'm sewing with a 1/4 inch seam to the 2.0 stitch length. That's what I'm sewing with, but that's what I mostly sew with. And he didn't put this correct. He's not very good at adjusting the camera, guys. There you go. That way my head isn't chopped off. You know what I mean, jelly beans? Understand, rubber bands? There we go. I'm going to back, since these are such big blocks, there's one thing that I don't normally do, but I'm going to do here, and that's back stitch at the top and at the bottom. There's no seams to match at all, except when you attach the rows together. That's the only seam. And if you feel you need to pin these, then pin them, but I'm not going to pin anything. So there's 1 and 2. Let's add number 3. They should be exactly the same size because I cut everything exactly the same size. 16 by 18. And yes, my machine sounds quieter because I gave it a little bit of oil. It'll do that for like, I don't know, probably the first 3 rows, then it'll probably be loud by then. I can hear it already. Starting to get loud. All right, so there's row 1. The only thing is every single one of these seams, I'm just going to press to the right, and then the next row, they'll go to the left. The next row will go to the right, and the next row will go to the left. You get what I'm saying. For now, I'm just going to finger press them because I don't even need to take these to the iron just yet unless Scott wants to press them all. But I don't want them to get flipped upside down because they are such big blocks. I'm just going to leave them just like that. So we're going to grab the second row. And I think I'm going to just attach the rows as I go, too. So I'll get...
What's the pattern called on your brown one there?
That one? That's just a mini. I just used 1-inch squares, no pattern. I just threw 1-inch squares together. I did it on a live. It's probably called something like, let's make a mini quilt, or let's sew 1-inch squares or something weird, because you guys know for all the time I've been on YouTube, I've always named my videos weird names. Sometimes I didn't even give them names. I just went live.
And what kind of oil?
I use the Juki Corporation's Defrix, the new Defrix #1 oil. I buy it by these big things. We tried to get the gallon jug this last time, but unfortunately, the ad was wrong. And we got 2 little bottles instead of a gallon jug, which kind of sucks, but whatever. I'm definitely out of breath. My legs are being like, oh, jump in the pool, jump in the pool.
You haven't even been in it yet. One lady just asked that.
Yeah, I haven't been in the pool since I put it up because the water has been not 80. It's not even been 90. It's been 80 degrees or less, and I cannot swim in 80-degree water or float in 80-degree water. I don't care if it's 115 outside. I cannot be in 80-degree or less water. For some strange reason, it shocks me, and the shock makes my nerves hurt worse. So I wait for the pool to get to be about 90 degrees. And since I have MS, it's best not to shock my nervous system.
I'll show them my shirt since you're not going to let me iron it. At least they can see it.
Yeah.
I wore it today. Just for them.
You can iron in a bit. I'm just going to start hooking them together as I go. I like this because even though I braked from the last week to this week, technically this quilt only takes a few hours. And I'll say a few more hours for those of you who don't sew fast like me. All right, so all these ones are going to go to the left.
How long does a jug of oil last?
Over a year. If you oil the machine 3 times a week like you're supposed to. Well, they say oil it every day, but I oil 3 times a week. All right, so I'm going to put these two together. The only seam I have to nest is just the seams between the blocks, so that's it. I'm just going to line it up onto my lap. And again, I am going to back stitch. And you can pin at this point if you want to. Again, I'm a skipper. I was going to say a skip stepper. A skip stepper. So step skipper. Try to say that 3 times fast. Whew.
Step skipper.
That was hard for me to even say once. That was really hard. All right, so I'm just nesting my seams as I come to them. I'm going to try to make sure that my in-betweens aren't flipped up. Just going to hold it. Seam 1 down, nested, perfectly fine. Sew a little bit till I see the next seam. I'm going to line those. I just hold it. My machine is so quiet, it's going to be hard to know that I'm out of bobbin. Not yet, though. I'm making sure to watch because I did not put a full bobbin in. You guys know me. It's rare that I put a full bobbin in before I go live. That's the one thing I forget to do is my bobbin. I have some rolled. That's a good thing. But I don't put a full one in for live stream. Just work with what's in there. All right, I'm gonna line up my end, make sure that it's good. Everything's nice and lined up. It's the same exact size. Back stitch and row 1 and 2 are together.
Tell them about the 25 patch block quilt. They're asking when they're going to do it.
Oh, you guys are going to have to wait on that 25 patch block quilt. We ordered backing fabric, but it's,
We're supposed to be here on Tuesday, but there's no guarantee.
And I have another quilt on the frame anyway, so it's going to be a bit before I even get it on the frame, because the one that's on the frame, I'm going to be custom quilting it, so.
Probably not this Wednesday, but next one.
Yeah, yep.
So not this Wednesday in 3 days, but the following Wednesday. So like 10 days from today.
That was the 4th one. It blended in and I didn't see it. Yeah, so it'll be a few Wednesdays from now. And then after I get that quilted, we'll move on to the next thing. But I'm going to probably take a month break in between of any kind of anything. I don't think I mentioned that yet. I was thinking about taking, because I need to catch up on jobs. I have a lot of jobs that I really need to get done. And the only way to do them is to not be on live stream. So I'm kind of thinking that I need to take about a month off, except for Sundays. Obviously, I'll be on my Sundays.
You had like 4 videos come out last week.
But I have had tons of videos come out for you guys. And it's hard for you guys to watch all the videos because there's so many of them that just keep coming out that I think I'm gonna allow you guys to catch up while I catch up on actual jobs that I need to do. Because all I keep doing is starting new stuff and I gotta stop doing that. So for I think for like a whole month I'm gonna, what's next month? June, yeah. For all of June, I think I'm gonna take off except for Sundays. Just so that I can get things done. Because I'm behind and I don't like to be behind. Especially when it is a paid job, and the other way to get paid and pay the bills to get paid is to complete the job. So I definitely need to take some time to do that. But I do film that stuff. Obviously, I film everything I do, but just no live streams to distract me. And they probably won't post once a week like I've been doing with long arm stuff and so on and so forth. It'll be scattered as I do it and get it done. All right, so this one is going to go back to pressing it towards the right, and then we're going to attach this onto the thing. So I'm just finger pressing all these to the right. They lay pretty flat. And then we'll attach this to the big part. And it, like I said, it goes pretty quick. Once you get them laid out the way you want them, it's pretty darn fast to do. So we're going to grab this end and this end. Bring it back over here. Make sure it's on my lap and sew it together. And this is, like I said, it grows pretty fast. And I'll probably, I don't know, maybe not add borders. It's already busy enough as it is, so I don't know if it really needs borders. It could be the twin size or full size or whatever size it ends up. All right. Hold my seam right here. Stopping it, adjust. So to the next one.
One lady says dark purple border.
Well, I have more purples, so because I added to the fat quarters with a couple purples that I had, so that way I had enough to blend through, or else it would have been too much of the same colors. If I do make it again, I will definitely make it with 20 different fat quarters, all maybe in the same like color housing, or all maybe all flowers, or maybe even solids. This might like actually look pretty good in solids, and then quilt every single section totally different. Oh, that would be awesome. I'm giving myself ideas, and I got to stop making quilt tops. Got to take a break for a little while. I don't think you guys realize how many quilt tops I have unquilted. Okay, now I'm out of bobbin. I knew sooner or later I'd be out. But this fresh one should last the rest of the quilt. I didn't even stitch very far when I realized I was out. That's always a good thing. All right, reline my ends up, hold them. Open it up. Move it to the side.
Paula says I have a dresser full of quilt tops. You have a dresser filled with quilts.
Yeah. I have a dresser filled with quilts and then
a closet filled with quilt tops.
A closet filled with quilt tops, yes. Exactly. All right. 1, 2. So remember, it's 4 across by 5 down. The blocks are 16 by 18. I mean, if you wanted to have cut them all to 16-inch squares, you totally could have, so that you can have them go whatever way you want. Like I said, it's a fat quarter frenzy. You're having fun with it. Move them around, do what you want. You don't have to be exactly like what I'm doing. This was my idea from my head, so obviously I'm kind of sticking with it.
What type of long arm do you have?
I have a King Quilter Elite 2 Special Edition long arm. The Special Edition just really means that I have a 7-inch tablet to go with mine. The tablet does not run it. It is not computerized. I am the computer. The tablet actually just tells you what stitch mode you want to be in. It turns the lights off and on, things like that. It counts the stitches. It counts the time you've been stitching, things like that. And you can find that at Sewing Machines Plus is the only place that sells it unless you buy a used one off of eBay or Amazon or wherever, which I am an affiliate for. So check those out if you want. All right, these ones are going to get pressed to the left now. Wait, did I press those to the right or the left? I don't even remember. So those are to the right. So these ones are to the left. If this whole row will stay. All right. So these I'm just going to finger press to the left. All right. Line it up on here. Just going to grab this end, that end, put them together. Yes, it should. Explanation SMP. You could type in explanation help or commands and it'll tell you what it is.
Well, it's not working. The bot thing is not working.
Really? Still?
No, Becky and I have both been trying. It's not working.
That's so weird. I don't know why. That's very odd.
Because it's technology, it doesn't like us.
Yeah. Technology and me do not mix. Trying to keep the most of the quilt top on the table because I don't want it to start pooling. These are big blocks and there is bias in between them. Try the explanation, the word commands directly after and see, because that will tell you the commands for all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure I set most of it up. I just didn't finish. But I did get a lot of it situated. Huh?
Command, C-O-M-M-A-N-D?
Yeah.
It worked for them, but nothing happened for me. Maybe it's just me.
Are you putting a space? Yeah, all the commands are, we got the exclamation mark before any word, no spaces. We got Becca, Teresa, Eric, Ian, T, Tucker. We got my Instagram, the Facebook group, the Etsy shop, my email, Sewing Machines Plus is SMP. Explanation CT is for connecting threads. Explanation Bacon is to find out how you can donate to me. Explanation Friends it gives you all the commands for my friends. Explanation Affiliate gives you all of the affiliate commands. Explanation Help gives you a list of commands and the help thing. And then Explanation Info is a list of commands for just regular plain info. So I never actually shared all those on my social media so that you guys can use them when you're in the chat for my moderators. I totally spaced that. But knowing like today, it was not even working in the beginning, so what's the point? Huh? We got the pull up, yes. Water. I don't know if you, for those that are new to my channel and don't know, I have multiple sclerosis, and certain things affect my nerves more than other things. Jumping into a cold pool, definitely, I start shivering and shaking, and it never stops. So even once I get out of the pool, it doesn't go away, and then it starts aching in my bones because I've been shivering too long or shaking too long. And then throughout the night, my restless leg problem becomes 10 times worse. So I try not to go into cold pools ever, or a cold lake, or cold anything. I don't even take a cold shower or wash my face with cold water. Like, I just highly, highly stay away from cold water. But then I don't like hot water either. Like hot tubs, you know? If it's too hot, I won't get in it. Like, the weather out here is wonderful for me. Most people don't like it. When it's cold, I get really irritated. But when it's warm, I'm great. Minus a few hiccups throughout the summer, but you know. All right. One more row to sew together and add on to this pile. I'm not even going to open that. I'm just going to kind of lay it just like this so that I know that's the way it's going to be. Put that last row together. Piece one, piece two. And again, I'm back stitching each and every time because I definitely don't want these big seams to fall apart because you're really holding a lot, you know, as it grows so fast that you're holding so much. You don't want your seams to pop. And that's very common. The heavier a quilt gets, for your seams to pop. And the only reason why I know this is because I'm a long arm quilter, not only for myself, but for others. And if they didn't backstitch, those seams will pop when I get to the frame. Because I'm holding so much and letting it hang over because I float all my quilts. So I definitely don't want their quilts falling apart as I'm working on it. So I make sure, and I don't want mine falling apart either. Make sure that everything is backstitched. Now, if you're not long arm quilting, you might be able to get away with it, but because you're basting it yourself on the floor or on a table. But the sheer weight of some quilts definitely will rip some seams open. I'm really glad that you guys all came to hang out with me during Mother's Day, when you could be spending time with your children and family and friends. And I know a lot of you's answer is going to be, well, you are my family. You are my friend. Here is your quilty family and friends right here. But I know a lot of people have lives too. So I'm glad that you're spending some time with me today. All right, last row going on. And then Scotty can heat up the iron to whatever one you want to use, and you can
am I gonna be allowed to iron now?
get this nice and flat. You can get this flat by doing each row, which you'll have 4 long.
Well, you wait until you're all done with them. What are you gonna do?
Sit here and chat.
Okay, so you're gonna read the comments? Good.
Yep. I didn't lay this out first before putting it on. Now it's like grabbing. This is why people pin probably, or put clips or something, so that it's ready to be lined up. Me, I do it the hard way, which is the easy way for me. All right, just gonna nest up my seams. Oh, I didn't even finger press those. Duh. Which way did those go? Those are two that way, so these ones are going to go that way. I just went right to attaching it without finger pressing. That's how lazy I am. Did you all get to see the video of me long arm quilting the Layer Cake Madness quilt, that one that went to a quilt shop? I haven't gotten any pictures of it yet being at the quilt shop hanging on the wall. So when I do, I'll post them in the Facebook group.
You didn't take pictures while you were there?
No, because she didn't hang it while I was there.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, she had to move some things around because it turned out bigger than she thought it would. She thought it was just going to be some little dinky quilt. I was like, layer cakes make at least a lap size quilt. So definitely need to wait until she can hang it up, obviously.
Kim saw it.
Yeah.
There you go. You got one person.
Yeah. I just pretty much did like this cool paisley loopy thing and then echoed it completely, and it really made the quilt pop. Like, it looks so awesome. It came out really good. Oh, it's right there. 18 inches is a really long seam. So trying to find the end.
You use cotton or polyester thread for quilting?
Cotton. For quilting, I use polyester. I use Glide mainly. I do use Isacord sometimes, depending on if I have a specific color I'm looking for in the Isacord, because it's embroidery thread. So if I need a specific color because they don't make it in Glide, I'll use it in that one. But again, that's polyester too.
Where we buy our Glide?
And I buy mine at my local quilt shop. So you guys can find that in the description below my videos.
So we support our local quilt shop?
Yeah, I support my local quilt shop. All right. So all you need to do, Mr. Scotty?
Tell them yes, we buy batting by the roll from Walmart.
Yeah, I buy batting by the roll from Walmart. It's all different brands. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this, but Walmart online sells Hobbs, Warm and Natural, off brands, Pelon, some other off brand stuff. They sell all different brands on Walmart.com. They're outsourced. So Walmart online outsources from other companies. So you can find the same thing on Amazon as you could find on Walmart, probably from the same company, but Walmart has Walmart prices and Amazon has Amazon prices. So if you guys didn't know that, just know I know some people like certain kinds of batting, and if you think that you're getting a good deal of Warm and Natural one place, don't forget Walmart sells it too. So Walmart always has that stuff on sale. So just make sure you check, because that's how I've been getting batting by the roll for years. And it's always different. I never use the same brand unless that same brand is on sale again.
You use all different size battings.
Yeah,
too.
and I buy all different sizes by the roll. So I have 120 inch, which is usually 80/20. I get 90 inch, which is usually the dye. It's the dyed one that's the white. There's a white dyed one that I get. That one's only 90 inches wide. And then I get 96 in the natural cotton. And, they're all different.
And Eric wants to know about the quilt shop that your quilt went to.
It
It's out
went
in the middle of nowhere.
It went to a quilt shop out in the middle of nowhere. Eric, you have been there. So Eric knows where it is, in the middle of Nowhereville.
That's where the quilt went to hang on the wall, Eric.
Yep. It went out to that shop, which doesn't have anything online. So unfortunately, guys, I can't.
Well, I don't think he knew, because we were talking about the other quilt shop where we buy the Glide.
Yeah.
We have two different quilt shops. One's out in the middle of nowhere,
and one is in town.
And the one in town is where we buy the Glide, which we have an affiliate link with.
Yeah.
So you guys can buy from them. Our one out in the middle of nowhere has Tiff's quilt on the wall.
Yeah, quilts, plural, actually, on the wall.
Oh, he's asking how she's doing.
Oh, she's doing great. She is doing great. She gets people from all over the tri-state, people that are during the snowbird season. She had so many people come, and they come in groups, because she is out in the middle of Nowheresville. So obviously it's best to carpool.
Yeah, gas is not cheap.
So she's doing great. They're doing great out there. She just made another big, huge order, and I bought some. I was just there the other day, and I bought some Lily and Loom. Now I gotta wait for Scott to press this, but I made this little project pouch. I bought these Lily and Loom charm packs, which have, let's see if I can come close, very bright and cheery colors in them. They're very bright. You know me, I like bright colors. So there's really, really pretty bright colors in here. Super cute. They're
Okay, you want to do the comments? You have the lady asked.
I have no idea what the designer's name is, Lily and Loom. Just for the joy of it.
Just ironing this whole thing?
Yeah, well, you can just these right here, these sections that just open the seam up and press the long seams. You don't have to do any other ironing.
You're going to do the questions.
Yeah, and you have to take it too much work. Love your consumer tips. Thumper is in the other room somewhere.
I said that. Read after me.
Any tips for a beginner with a small working space? So for quilting or piecing, because the small space for the piecing is workable. Quilting can be challenging, but I do have more than one video. It's very blurry because I have not redid all of my videos, but you can still see what I'm doing, and the camera is staying still, so it stays focused most of the time. It's just not as clear quality. But I do show you how to free motion quilt from this tiny space, which is your average sewing machine throat space or hearth space, which is 6 inches. I do show you how to free motion quilt from this. I have on this size machine, not this exact one, the old one that broke, I have free motion quilted a queen size quilt on one of these, and it's on my bed. And I actually have more free motion quilting videos on this one. Again, older videos, you'll have to go back and look in my thing, but there are tons of.
Why do we have a sheet under here? This is just adding wrinkles.
Oh, you can remove it. I did it for a video because I didn't want the staining on my ironing mat to show.
Get the thing flat when it's on that because I'm trying to move the sheet on the sheet. And
but I show you how to hold your hands. It's best if you have an extension table for either one of the machines or it's set into a desk. I don't know if you guys watch Becca, but Becca is one of my friends here who's in the chat. She has one of those tables and she creates videos for you guys to see that her Juki sits into the table, and then there's a clear plastic, I forgot the name of the company that does those, but it's a clear thing that goes into the table, the insert that makes it flat and flush. So you can put any machine as long as you have the insert for that machine for the table. So they make tables like that. This table back here does sit flush, but not flush enough for free motion quilting. So I usually just move it, but having the extension table or a flat flush surface is 100% one of the biggest tips I could tell you for a beginner. Second is take your time, enjoy yourself. If you get frustrated, walk away. Walk away. Come back when you feel good again. Try some more. But
and who taught you that one?
I get frustrated easily. He tells me, stop, Tiffany, walk away. But make sure, just enjoy yourself. You don't want to hate it because if you do, then, but I just I made too many big quilts and it was definitely getting hard on my back. So that's why I went long arm, or at first I had this on a frame. I moved up because I have back problems. So if you're a beginner and you have back problems, I can tell you from experience, and probably a lot of people in the chat can, it definitely, definitely does not help if you don't stay relaxed, sit up straight, and move it around. But when you're doing a queen size quilt, your body tends to just automatically do this every time. It's something about our brains and how it works. It's really hard to just be right here moving the quilt around without your face going down to it. It's just how it works. So just watch out for that. And if anything, if you have the space, upgrade. Get yourself something on a frame. They have frames for these kind of machines. That's called the Cutie frame. They sell it on Sewing Machines Plus. It's just a little tabletop frame, and you put the machine on it, and it has the things, and it has encoders, and you just press a button, and you can move it around. The little handles come from the bottom. It sits on any table. There's quite a few of you guys here in the chat that have that. I've seen those. That's great for beginners, and its price point is good, but you do have to pre-baste your quilt to load it on, and then you just put it on the hooks and roll up the sides where you're not working. So, I mean, there's tons of different options for beginners. I would start with free motion at first. See if you like that. See if you can get the hang of that before you move on to more expensive routes. I do that because my eyesight is getting so bad. Yeah. Machine sits on the table base. Love it. Talking about, so impressed by the way you can sew the quilt. See the quilt in your mind before I make it. Yes, I don't know why I could see the quilts in my mind before I make them. Thank you, Kim. I liked these churn packs, and I always buy 4. I want to know from all of you guys, because there's not really any questions coming through. When you see a charm pack and you like it and you can see the fabrics that are in it, how many do you buy? Do you buy 1? Do you buy 2? Do you buy 3, 4, 5? I buy 4. 4 will always guarantee that I can make at least a twin size project. So how many do you buy? Kind of curious. 1, 4, 5, okay. 2. I'm going to answer a question while you guys say this. What weight glide thread? The glide, I use 40 weight, and I don't think they come in any other weight. Yeah, the only one that I've ever seen in store is the 40 weight. So I think that's it. Some 2. Other people, some saying they just buy yardage. 1 pack of anything is never enough. Exactly. 2 to 4, 3 to 4. Depends. 4, or just buy a layer cake. Exactly. But if they didn't have layer cakes, that's just the charms. I always buy 4. Someone buys 3. Depends on the price. Layer cakes can be cheaper. Yep, same with, yep. Everybody's saying at least 4 or a layer cake if they have it. No, it's fine. You're only doing the seam.
I know.
Yeah. Because there was nothing little to do.
The past 2 weeks you haven't.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-iron this whole thing anyway. It's fine though.
Then why am I doing it?
Just one more seam, so we can hold it up and be done. And then decide. I'll decide if I want.
Make me do the big thing that you're gonna complain and redo anyway, because no matter what I do, it's not gonna be right.
And then we'll decide if I want to add a border or not, because I have some purples.
All because I don't use your iron. We have 5 iron.
Lots of things you can do with charm packs for those that are saying they don't know what they can do with them. Fabric buying intervention. Somebody needs a fabric buying intervention here. So steady. So steady. I knew it was something like that. I never got that one. I just got the one that came with my Juki. So I never got the clear one, although all these times I do think that one's quite bigger. It has a little bit more space to it. But I kind of don't like that you guys can see all my dust and thread under here. So it's kind of good that I don't have the see-through table, because then you'd see under it and woo-wee, you don't want to see that mess. It's rare I lift this thing up or move the extension table out of the way. Somebody only has a 6-inch throat space. I can only do stitch in the ditch. And you know what? That is perfectly fine for finishing your quilts. If you cannot get it into your throat space, and stitching in a ditch is the easiest thing, or you just don't want to hassle with free motion quilting, nobody said that you had to free motion quilt or do anything fancy. A straight stitch in the ditch or echoing that ditch, just going on the sides of the ditches all the way around the whole entire thing, perfectly fine. If you just want to do cross hatching across the whole quilt, perfectly fine. And if you just want to tie your quilt, make sure you put enough ties in it within the batting's specification. But guess what? That's perfectly okay too. Nobody said you had to do anything fancy with your quilt. So as from beginner to beginners, just know that you don't have to finish it the same way an advanced quilter would finish their quilt, or a free motion quilter. If you want to do it your way, do it your way.
Okay, what frame do you use for your Juki mid-arm table? And can you
I had a Grace I had a Grace GQ frame, and you're supposed to be able, because it had a tray, you're supposed to be able to use any of the Juki TL2010Q or the GL20 TL2000QI or the TL22 2022QVP, or the Janome one. There's a Janome version, or you're supposed to be able to use the Brother PQ 1500 version. All of them should fit on, but the Grace GQ frame does not exist anymore. You guys would have to go for a different frame, but any frame that has a table for the machine, those are set up for this kind of stuff. You can get those. And then they are convertible, but mine at the time was not convertible to the machine that I chose to purchase. And trust me, we looked. We were calling back and forth with Sewing Machines Plus. Is this going to fit? What's the measurements between here? What's the distance between that? How wide is the wheelbase? How wide is this? None of it was matching up. So I had to get the frame that went with the King Quilter machine. So just know that, once you buy that frame and you use this on for a while and get used to it, you can get something else. Yeah. Oh, I don't delete the old videos. They should still be there. The little quilt caddy. Yeah, I have the quilt caddy videos. It's on there. It's from a Sew Sunday, and it says quilt caddy. It says it right after. It's Quilty Caddy. So if you just type in Quilty Caddy, Tiffany's Quilting Life in the search bar, it should come up with that video. All right, let's hold this quilt up. I think you and I can do it. And then, actually, CJ, can you come here for 2 seconds? It'll hide him. He doesn't like to be on camera. I don't either. CJ. Oh, I didn't know if you had headphones in.
Do you use many fat quarters? Do you cut them into pre-cut sizes?
I don't cut fat quarters into pre-cut sizes. Let's go this way, please.
Do you use many of them?
CJ, you can lower your arm just a little.
Do you use many of them?
Yes, I use fat quarters all the time. All right, CJ, come towards me a little bit. There you go. All right, so there it is, guys. It is done. I love it because it's just so separated and flipped, and it just looks so cool. And little pieces here and little pieces there. I love it. I love it.
It is beautiful.
I can't wait to quilt it because I think I'm going to quilt little different things all over it, or just curved lines or something weird, something different, not the same as everything else. Ah, so cool. So cool. All right, guys. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna go right here. I'm crossing in front of the camera because I kind of have no room back here to walk.
It happens.
You guys don't know that this room becomes a disaster once jobs start getting done and I start working on other projects. I swipe everything that way, and I'm surprised that the tripod actually fits over there. It becomes a disaster on that side of the room because this is the side of the room that's on video and that side is not. All right, guys. Well, that is it. That's the Fat Quarter Frenzy. I'm telling you, look at how fun and easy that was. And just imagine using 20 different fat quarter colors, or whatever. Use striped fabrics. I don't know. Just have fun with it. Move everything around.
At what inches would you mark your corners at?
What do you mean? What inches would I mark my corners?
Oh. I read it word for word.
Oh, I don't know what that means. That's probably why they delete them if they know that I'm not going to know what it's talking about.
So will your batting be one piece or do you piece that as well?
I don't piece my batting. I have Frankenpiece lots of batting, trust me. And I do use batting glue to glue them together, like cut them and use the iron to put them together. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys the inches real quick. Let's see what it turned out to be. I have Frankenpiece, but my little cutoffs from batting I actually use for table runners and bags and so on and so forth. So I never let any batting go to waste. And then those other pieces that don't fit for all that stuff, I always use for other things like stuffing pillows. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is, right in front of my face.
We have a video on how to Frankenpiece batting even.
I have a machine Frankenpiecing. What's 39? 39? 87, 80,
78.
78 by I can't do that math in my head on my own for all you beginners that are joining my channel. I cannot free math in my head. I've never been able to. And what is 35 and 35?
70.
So 70 by 78. Wow, that's pretty big. And if I go around it with a border, it'll be even bigger. And I have lots of dark purples that I could probably go around it with. And they don't even have to match. Just whatever. Because it's fun and it's scrappy. And it looks so cute.
They've all been asked.
All right. And for all of you who've been asking, hey there, kitty kitty. Want to say hi? Say hi, everybody.
He just got up, so he's a little lazy.
He's a little lazy kitty. Say hi. Say happy Mother's Day, everybody. Oh, he's purring. Get your butt this way. Push your butt that way. Hey, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hey, Linda, she's tougher than me.
All right, I'll put you down. There you go. Notice I moved my quilt out of the way. I try to keep, because he only comes in here if we're both in here. I try to keep him off because he does shed. Even when his hair is trimmed, his tail and his lion head part of him, the long hairs, they do shed. And I try to keep it off quilts because when I sell quilts, I really want, they're pet friendly, but not laying on it. I don't want his hair getting intertwined. I try to do that because I sell my quilts. So I'm not against cats and stuff and dogs on quilts. I just personally try to keep them pet free in case someone's allergic. You never know. So, as I do list them on Etsy. Anyways, all right. Well, that is all I got for you guys today. So that was the Fat Quarter Frenzy. I'm hoping you guys, totally got it from the beginning to end. Just mix up the blocks and then trim them and sew them back together, cut them, sew them back together. Move some stuff around so that it alternates them, and then trim them all to 16 by 18, and then sew them all together, 4 across by 5 down, and this is what you get. A 7, what did you say, 70?
70 by, what was it, 78?
70 by 78 quilt. And then if you want to add borders, obviously, I'm going to probably add borders, but I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to decide what I want to add to it.
Linda said she's happy that I support you without making you look weak, but she's tougher than I am.
I'm tough. I'm really tough, guys.
She's tough.
Yeah. If I broke my neck right now, I'd probably still be sitting here talking to you guys. Seriously, I don't cry when I go to the hospital. Like when I'm in a lot of pain, like right now, my back is absolutely killing me. But when I go to the hospital and stuff, and even when I was in labor, I did not cry. There was no crying. I'm not a very, I don't know what the word is. It's not that I'm not emotional. I just don't cry when things are bothering me or hurting me or pain. And when I get there, they always assume the no tears and covered in tattoos, and before I was piercings as well. They always assumed I was a drug addict because drug addicts
tears,
don't
it's the
cry.
Tattoos and the piercings. It
like,
has nothing to do with the tears.
Yeah,
they like see the tattoos and the piercings,
assume.
and they think you're there for pills.
And then when I tell them I'm not here for medication, I want you to fix it and make it better, then they're like, oh, okay. They look at my chart and see.
No, then they send you home.
And they send me home, yeah.
They leave you sitting out in the hallway for hours on end, and then we tell them we're not here for medication. We want to actually be seen. And then they send you home and tell you to go see your family doctor.
Yeah, because they can't treat my MS at most places. So anyway, yeah, I'm tough. I'm really tough. I get hurt quite easily all the time, bruises everywhere, and most of the time I don't even know how I hurt myself. So
I already said it, but Urban Elements are for the tattoos.
Yeah, Urban Elements with a Z, URBANELEMENTZ, not S.
Elements with a Z.
Yeah, .com, and just type in their search bar under Urban Elements when you get to their website in the little search bar. Just type in machine decals or machine tattoos. It shows up either way. So they have tons of different ones, not just butterflies. So. All right, guys. Hope everybody had a wonderful time hanging out on this lovely Mother's Day. I hope you guys got lots of warm hugs and love from your family and friends. And I am about to go spend the rest of my evening with my husband because only 2 kids have messaged me so far today. And the other one lives in the same house and hasn't said a word.
I'm amazed you got 2. I didn't even know you had 2 kids.
2 kids and an almost daughter-in-law, actually, have said Happy Mother's Day.
I didn't even know that.
Anyway, all right, guys. I will see you next Sunday, and there'll probably be a few videos between here and then. I'm not 100% sure when things come out. So, bye, everybody.
Good night.